we all know from the title that I'm going to cover my 5 reasons why I'm no longer going to date American women. And I understand that this type of video will generate a lot of hate and a lot of anger. But before you spew that venom at me, hear me out because you might actually be surprised at what I have to say. Now, as far as me, I'm 41 years old. I'll be 42 in July of 2026. I got a dad bod. I got crooked teeth. I'm not like Brad Pitt handsome or anything of that nature, but I'm not the ugliest thing on God's green earth. I have a good career. I make pretty good money. I have 2 wonderful daughters, and their mother and I get along really good. And we were together for 15 years. So, you know, I got my quirks. I'm not a perfect person by any means. Okay. I've got my flaws. I got my flaws in my personality. I'm not going to stand here on a pedestal and tell you I'm better than everybody else. But there are reasons why I've decided that maybe dating in America is just not for me anymore. Now, I've been trying to date and look for somebody for 3 years. And the number one thing that I've noticed, and the number one reason why I'm no longer going to date American women, and by the way, the definition for me of an American woman is a woman living in the United States of America. If you're a student visa, work visa, resident, citizen, all the same to me in that respect. Okay. Number one is the expectations are way too high for first date. There are women that I've talked to over the phone that never made it to a first date because I want to do something where you're sitting down with each other and there's no expectations except for talking and getting to know each other. That's how we used to do it. I mean, that's how I met the mother of my children. You know, we went out at the time, we went out to a Baskin Robbins ice cream and sat down and had an ice cream together and talked for like 2.5 hours. And then we end up like going to a movie afterward, like unexpectedly. And we had a blast. And we used to do little things like that. That's how we got to know each other. We didn't sit at some fancy dinner that was $250 a plate. And it's just not the way things were done. And just seeing and actually hearing in person the expectations, not what I hear on social media, but actually hearing women that are 45, 47, 50, 39, 34, 28, 29. Doesn't matter the age group. It's all the same. And actually, I've noticed that women more my age, the expectations are higher. And then that brings me to number 2, which kind of involves number 1, is the expectation of, well, if you're going to date me, you got to pay a bill of money. I'm not joking with you. You know, you see that stuff on social media. I've actually experienced it. And then I actually got involved with a woman that I thought was my person because, my God, it was like we were finishing each other's sentences. And I kept helping her pay her bills. And then I find out she's been dating like 3 or 4 other guys behind my back. And she has a manipulation tactic to do that. And it's like, wow, this is crazy. And, I give you a great story. So 2 years ago, I was in Nevada, not Vegas. I was in Nevada. And I met a young lady and we hit it off. We were talking at a local grocery store. And then we went outside and I was going to go to McDonald's, go get a large French fry and a large Coke. And because at the time it was the Monopoly game. And she came with me. And we sat down at McDonald's and she had a burger and we were just chatting it up. And then I'm like, hey, why don't we grab a movie? And she goes, well, to grab a movie, I need $300 to pay my cell phone bill and my light bill. What? I've known you for 4 hours and you're asking me to pay your light bill and your cell phone bill. I've ran into a situation where I had a young lady that I was dating and we got along really good. I was trying to help her out. I couldn't help her financially, but I was trying to help her not get evicted out of an apartment, and it ended up costing me my rental, Uber rental with Hertz, because she ended up taking the key fob from me and holding it hostage until I paid her rent. And by the way, these are different cultures, different races, black, white, Hispanic. It's crazy. Number 3 is manners have been thrown out the window. I mean, completely out the window. The words thank you are no longer said as much. So the other day, you could tell this mother of 3, they look like 3 babies, so probably triplets, I would assume. I don't make assumptions anymore. And she's got this big, huge, like baby. I can't remember what those are called anymore because my kids are so grown. But a stroller. Sorry, I just thought of a stroller. And she's pushing this baby stroller, and she's trying to like manipulate and try to open this door. And I saw her from afar, so I walked about 50, 60 feet and walked over and opened the door for her. And she stared at me and says, "Creep." I'm a creep because I walked over to help her because nobody else would. Had another situation, and this is just examples. I mean, this happens every day. I had another example of a woman that was in her 50s. Okay, so it's happening to every age group. Okay, and simply what happened was she was trying to load a water case into her car. And I went up to her and she's struggling. And I said, "Ma'am, would you like me to help you put it in your car?" And she goes, "Well, I'm going to record you. And I do have a can of mace in my car." Are you kidding me? Number 2 is the mother of my children was and still is a Mexican citizen. And when I lived in Mexico, for the years I lived in Puerto Vallarta, Guadalajara, etc., women down there are more polite. Like when I go and open a door for a woman, no matter what her age is, whether she's 25 or 65, it's gracias, gracias, gracias. There's a decorum of politeness. There's a decorum of softness. There's respect when somebody's trying to help you out. And I don't want to compromise who I am, become a jerk or a jackass or an asshole just so I can date in the United States of America and find an American woman. And the number one reason overall is because just watching a few of my friends, and well, not friends, I should say colleagues in the industry I'm in, that have had successful relationships with women in Russia, Germany, Switzerland, Australia, parts of Asian countries, African countries, South American countries, seeing some of these relationships that have blossomed and developed over the last 4 or 5 years, and seeing that they are happy has made me realize that I've been looking in the wrong spots. So my goal in 2026 is to just sock away money, sock it away, and then go travel and see if I can find someone to date and get to know, and maybe, who knows, maybe end up marrying and maybe have a couple more kids. Who knows? Because it's not going to happen here in this country. Sorry.